Throughout history, our society and our economy has always been driven by our wants and needs to consume and produce a wide variety of goods and services. Now, all of this is possible because of one key invention that human civilization was remarkably created thousands and thousands of years ago. That invention is known as money. But unfortunately, in today's time, in an era where there exists a high level of income inequality, as well as a lack of available financing for the everyday people, one key company, Law, or NTL, is standing at the forefront, hoping to offer all underprivileged Thais access to finance in order to fund their dreams. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, honorable judges. My name is Pishat Pat, and from my far right, please allow me to introduce to you Atit, Jaludet, and Kumtat, and together we are Team Veritas. So let's start off by taking a look at the company logo. In the past 4 years, NTL has been performing tremendously well. As we can see, loans have been growing at a rapid pace, at a CAGR, or compounded annual growth rate, of over 41%, reaching 16.9 billion baht in 2015. Not only that, but NTL has a very high dominant market position of over 41% compared to two other largest competitors, as well as expansion to over 399 branches and more product expansion lines, including nano finance and also insurance brokerage initiatives. So with such success in just the past few years, this begs the question whether NTL will be able to keep up and perform just as well going into the future. So we take into consideration NTL's and the management team's aim to become a full suite financial service convenience store. Now, what does this mean? This means that the management has already taken into account to ensure that the company is able to grow at a sustainable pace, including the four key aspects: credit, insurance, savings, and transactions. But when we look further down into our analysis, what we found is that the company's core competency mainly lies in the area of credit and insurance. Why? First, the company has the highest expertise in offering vehicle title loans. Secondly, it can leverage on its branch distribution in order to offer insurance brokerage products such as personal accident. But when we look into savings and transactions, we see that the company has very little ability to service and thus very small core competency due to two key reasons. One is the fact that it's a non-bank finance company and does not have the license in order to engage in deposits and offer investments and savings products. Secondly is the fact that the market for transactions is already very heavily dominated by banks. Thus, this leads to NTL having very little ability to service compared to other bigger players in these two areas of savings and transactions. So we take a step back and we look at our core business. And what we see is that provincial vehicle ownership is still growing at a CAGR of 6%. What this means is that provincial vehicles registered in Thailand is around 76% in Thailand. And combining this with the fact that there is still a rather large amount of underbanked and unbanked consumers in Thailand, this implies that because of the restrictions that it's guarding NTL's pursuit to become what this implies is that because of the restrictions that guards NTL's pursuit to become a full suite financial convenience store, NTL should thus instead continue to focus on growing its core product lines through branch expansion as well as marketing communications campaign in order to attract future borrowers. Thus, our 5-year strategic direction is to ensure and maintain NTL's growth prospects. But we are faced with three key questions. First, where should NTL expand to in order to grow its core business? Secondly, how should NTL engage potential customers? And thirdly, how exactly should NTL maintain its dominant position in the marketplace to accommodate its position through other areas of growth? Thus, ladies and gentlemen, we gladly present to you our two key recommendations: bolster the core and capture for more. Let's begin with bolster the core.
So now, let's take a step further to bolster the core. From our team analysis and the provincial statistic, we can see that there's a huge potential in Thailand, outer provinces of Thailand, that shows a low underwriting potential. Why? Looking into the growth of vehicle registered by provinces in 2015, we can see that almost every part in Thailand shows a huge growth, ranging from 2.8% in the northern region to over 4.3% in the northeastern region. This implies that there's still a huge opportunity out there for United Law to expand its business and branches into and capture this opportunity, hence bolster its core. And in order to do so, we have came up with an expansion criteria of the number of vehicle registered size and growth, as well as the number of population in each provinces of Thailand. As a result, we have came up with the top 20 provinces of Thailand, and to make things more simple and save more time, we have constructed a bubble expansion map, categorizing these 20 provinces of Thailand into the first, second, and third tier. Now, we would like to shift your focus towards the first tier, which is Rayong, Chonburi, Chiang Mai, and Nakhon Ratchasima. Not only that these provinces shows a decent number of population and the vehicle registered, but it shows a decent amount of growth, which takes it as an opportunity for United Law to expand into and bolster the corner. And now, to expand even more effectively and efficiently, let's take a step further to look at our customer. Meet Miss Sandy Yang Yun. She's a female 40 years old street vendor. She's a perfect example of our customer. Like most of the street vendors in Thailand, they work from days to night, and while they're working, they enjoy watching the television shows and chatting with their friends to keep them updated. Now here's the catch. Like most of our segment market, we can see that they believe in lucky draws, they believe in lucks, and they love easy money. That's why the loans from the loan shark and the pawn shop. Because they think that they know that by loaning with these two loaners, they will get instant cash with an easy money and little to no paperwork. But what they does not know is that by loaning with these two loaners, they would worsen their debt structure and make it near impossible for them to pay their debts for the rest of their life. So in order for United Law to kick in and communicate with them even better than before, to push our core values into their mind as well as our service. Ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce to you United Law Jackpot on the campaign, celebrating our new branches opening with a chance for you to get your debts paid for free. So basically, what is this? United Law Jackpot on the is basically a cash giveaway campaign that is aimed to attract new vehicle loan customers in order for them to help us expand strategies. So here's how it would work. Each of the new vehicle loan customers will get a code, hence they register. The code itself will be drawn monthly by United Law to find the winner, and the winner will be announced through the official website, both online and offline. Now here's the catch. The winner itself will get the debt paid for free, thus keeping the original sum of the money that they have loaned with us before. This is a differentiating point of us. This is what makes us different, because nowadays marketing campaign focusing on either giving away goods or car, but it does not answer what our customer really wants. They cannot make a better use of it. So by doing this campaign, it would give them more motivation, and by using this kind of word, it would make us be in the top of their mind. So we have choose 3 marketing channels: the television advertisement, Facebook, and the printed advertisement. The logic behind these 3 channels is because these 3 channels chose the best opportunity for us to penetrate and reaching into our customer mind, especially in the wet market segment. And also, the cost of implementing these 3 strategies, these 3 channels, is at a reasonable price. And here's an example of our advertisement. It will be broken down into 2 parts: the message part and the emotional part. In the message part, we would show them and tell them that we are the best vehicle loans title in Thailand, while on the emotional parts, we would bring an actual footage of when United Law actually pays the debts for our winner for free. This would create an emotional touching point from us to the customer and make us be the #1 brand in their mind. So ladies and gentlemen, by implementing, here's our key takeaway. By continuing United Law expansion strategies to prospective outer province of Thailand and implementing United Law Jackpot on review, United Law will be able to grow its core product line even better than ever and bolster its core.
So now that we have identified NTL's potential expansion throughout Thailand, let's take a look at another area of growth that NTL can pursue. According from our analysis, there have been a rising trend in the personal loan market with CAGRs of 8% throughout the next 3 years. And as of right now, NTL current loan value contribution consisted of 99% secure loans, but only 1% unsecured loans. These data implies that there is still a growing opportunity for NTL to further strengthen its unsecured lending portfolio. Imagine Miss Unjai Sisu, female, single, 35 years old factory worker with a monthly salary of 9,000 baht per month. She values time, accessibility, and convenience. She wants money for her personal expenses and funding in times of emergency. She only has a bank saving account and rarely conduct other bank transactions. Thus, she's considered to be an underbanked person. So the question is, how will we capture people like Miss Unjai Sisu? Without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, introducing Thanjai Cash Card by Ngan Tit Law, a cash card in times of emergency. So, what is this Thanjai Cash Card? Well, it is a cash card with a revolving lines of credit. It allows our customers to perform cash disbursement through ATM nationwide. Each person's credit line varies depending on their monthly salary, and the loan activation would start right away as soon as the money has been withdrawn. Our customers would benefit from a fast and rapid approval in terms of loan. They would also be provided with flexible financing as well as gain access to a point-based system where they earn points when they loan money, and they can use those points to redeem prizes such as insurance. And in order to ensure the accessibility of our product to our customers, we've decided to leverage on our relationship with Krungsri Bank and potentially partner up with other banks in order to gain access to the ATM network. And in order to market and sell our product to our customers, we've come up with 3 key steps. First off, the message. When we mention Thanjai Cash Card, what is the first thing that comes up into the mind of our customers? Well, we want our customers to see Thanjai Cash Card as the friendliest cash card that offers both great and flexible financing options. We emphasize on 3 core values, which consisted of convenience, flexibility, and opportunity. Later, we would implement these messages and core values into our marketing campaign, Chua Card, Chua Ngan. The objective of this marketing campaign is to launch and position Thanjai Cash Card as the go-to cash card for our target customers. With the objective in mind, there are 4 concepts. First off, the slogan, ได้เงินง่ายเพียงจั่วการ์ด which implies that our customers can easily gain access to money by just using our product. And moving on, in order to humanize our product even further, we've decided to come up with a mascot, Thanjai Man, in order to help convey the sense of friendliness and heroism to our target customers. Later, we'll feature our mascot into a story which focuses on everyday struggles of consumer finance. And lastly, we would communicate our story to our target customer, those who have low income but relatively stable customer segment. And now, in order to communicate our marketing campaign to our target customer mentioned in the previous slides, we've decided to utilize both above the line and below the line marketing, beginning with television advertisement, in order to capture the target mass. Moving on to online platforms such as YouTube, in order to capture our customers' social consumption habits. And lastly, there will be billboards and physical ads to emphasize on offline advertisement. Moving on to below the line marketing, we would set up booths at each key customer touchpoints, such as local market, Tesco Lotus, and Big C. The booth would help introduce and benefits the pros of our product to the customers. We would also launch a direct sales force in order to gain insights, bond, and introduce new products and promotions to our customers. Lastly, there would be a branch-based officers to help out with product referral. By doing so, NTL would be able to capture for more possibility by strengthening its unsecured lending portfolio through our new product, Thanjai Cash Card, a flexible and convenient financing option that our customer can use anywhere at any time.
Now, we are aware that our strategies do contain some risks. We have listed out 5 key risks and we have evaluated them and ranked them based on probability of occurrence and impact of those risks. And we found that risks that we have to be concerned most about is decrease in amount of loan in new branches and also ineffective marketing campaign for Thanjai Cash Card. So in order to mitigate this risk, we plan to launch promotional campaign in these specific branches in order to boost even more customer borrowings and also increase customer awareness in this region. And also, we plan to initially target our existing pool of customers first in order to convert them into our cash card holders. So in order to smoothly implement both those strategies, we must first start by conducting market research. We plan to open new branches every year along with promotional campaign of jackpot review. And also, we plan to launch Tanjai Cash Card in second quarter of 2017 along with promotional campaign of local sales force and also TV advertisement. And after we have implemented the strategy of bolster the core and capture for more, we expect to have an increase in total loan amount to be 52 billion baht in 5 years, increasing unsecured loan contribution from 1% to 18% from NTL total loan portfolio, and also expanding to 700 branches all across the country with more proportion on our selected regions. So, and as for revenue, we expect to achieve 6.9 billion baht in total revenue in 5 years, with CAGR improving from 13% from our base case revenue forecast to 16%. And as for the cost, the total cost for our 5-year strategy plan will be 914 billion baht, which can be divided into 2 parts. First, initial investment of 333 million baht, and also recurring expenses every year, which includes marketing campaign costs, advertisement costs, and also maintenance costs for our new products and services. And also we have conducted sensitivity analysis to our NPV, use some key risks and factors that we have listed out before, and we found that factor that has highest impact to our NPV is loan contribution from new branches. However, we can obtain positive NPV value on all cases, even in worst case scenario, with base case NPV of 3.9 billion baht. And lastly, after we have bolstered the core business of Ngantik Law by expanding into our opportunity region and also capture for more opportunity that Ngantik Law can see and capitalize in this current market trend. We believe that these strategies that we have presented to you today would put Ngantik Law on the right track to become known as a player in the industry. And that will conclude our presentation today. We are ready to answer some questions you may have. Thank you all for participating.
First of all, thank you for your presentation. And my question would be on the your recommendation under the bolster the core and the capture the cash card. And apart from the 2 recommendations, and how about the branch expansion strategy? Not quite clear. Can you explain a little bit more on the branch expansion? Would be like delay or the what would be the recommendation on the expansion?
Thank you very much for your question. So first off, allow me to re-clarify on our expansion plan. We've taken into consideration the fact that this year the company is really looking at expanding around 100 around Thailand. So therefore we're leaving that unchanged. But what we're trying to see is if there are any other potential areas in Thailand provinces to go. So what we've shown is that we've listed a short list of potential provinces in Thailand, and we've characterized each one according to 3 criteria: vehicles registered growth, as well as population size. And we've conducted a bubble map to identify how the expansion phase. First off, these 20 are all potential candidates to expand, but by grouping each one into each tier, we are trying to show NTL that first they should go into the first tier. Now, my colleague will re-clarify more on which places are we going and how many in terms of proportional. Because at the end of 2020, we expect to expand an additional 300 branches.
So, as for clarification, we plan to expanding from 399 branches to 700 branches, which is 300 more. We expect to expand to 30% in Northeast region and 30% in Central region. And which you may wondering why in our our map a lot of countries a lot of provinces is not actually in Central region, but actually in Central region there are really concentrated in vehicle owners, and we have a lot of promises in that area. So this is what our plan for 5 years. Yes.
And to add on to that, what we believe truly is the fact that the main driver for NTL to grow, as we've shown in the company overview, is to grow its core business. And the main drive to grow such core business is to expand. Why? Because we do not currently, we considered many different alternatives in terms of distribution reach to how we can reach the potential customers, such as, for example, mobile applications. But this is out of our scope due to one reason is the fact that the target customer right now is not as technology advanced in using such products. So therefore, we believe that currently the traditional medium in reach these customers has to be done through branch expansion.
But comparing to the other competitors, they plan to open like 200 branches more than us. So how do you compete with that?
To answer that question, thank you first for the question. Likewise, that it has been stated in the case that by expanding too rapidly or too much, the quality of each branch will drop. So we have calculated and think over and over again, and we see that this is the optimal of the number of stores that United Law currently can expand with that, while keeping the service level good.
One more question on the apart from the title loan, which has been like the NTL cost product for many years, and how to promote the customer awareness on the insurance.
Taking into account our position as a broker and not an insurer, this means that we do not have the flexibility to engage in differentiated insurance products because we are a broker, so we take other people's insurance products and sell. Now, what we mentioned before, if my teammate could go back to the slide showing the jackal on the wheel, this campaign would actually promote both our strength in the vehicle title loans and as well as insurance. Because we are expanding, and by expanding, it's not just going to boost vehicle title loans, but it's also going to boost insurance. Because of one key reason: 76% of vehicles registered are in the provinces. So this also shows potential in trying to boost our insurance sales in terms of brokerage. And what my colleague has done is that we are hoping to actually communicate all our best products in this campaign: vehicle loans, insurance, nano finance, and vehicles registration. These are what we consider as our core strength right now.
And to add on more to that, our second strategy where we launch cash card, we also offer promotion in our cash cards. We believe that these promotions would attract more customers buying insurance from us as well.
Thank you for your presentations. I enjoy watching your presentations a lot. Can you go back to the slide? I'm not sure whether it's go back, but can you show the slide on the cash cards? Yeah. Just to correct some understanding. So basically, you will distribute the cash card to the customer. Anyone can register, or any criteria you want to present.
So there would be a criteria that you should probably have your income around salary 5,000 baht per month. But then the credit line that each person, it doesn't really matter because each person have different credit lines anyway. So if you don't have a high income, then you get not as much credit line.
So everyone can get, if they got salary per month more than 5,000.
Yes, if they can prove that they have a stable income of more than 5,000 baht per month.
Okay. Then what about the other point that, as you know, that this kind of target market, they may be wanted quick cash. So basically, whenever they want, they go to the branches or they go to the bank. They expect to get some cash right away. But what if this strategy, if you give them cash at the time that they wanted to use the urgent cash, because this group of people, I assume that they may not have a pre-well planned or how they manage that. Okay, today I will go to register for this cash card, and then one day I will use this card for some urgent cases. So what do you think of this case? Are they gonna hit to the target? I mean, your target customer.
Oh, so first off, we're gonna launch a local sales force in order to help some sort of educate them about how they should manage their money. gain their insights, and we're gonna also give them advice and tips in order how they should manage their fund, so they don't use all their money right away, so they would not go bankrupt and have financial problems.
To add on to that, we understand clearly that there is an urgent demand to take out cash the moment you go into the branch. We believe that this is actually something that NTL has already been doing with its existing vehicle loans and its ability to actually value the assets in order to actually just disperse cash in an instant. But in terms of this cash, we want to really clarify the target market that it's for people who do not in particular need the urgent cash right now, but they need it at some point in the future. Therefore, by taking out this cash, they essentially have a credit line with them throughout, for example, a 1-year term, and they could take out the revolving loan at any time. But we also believe that we could potentially be more flexible and, as we've mentioned, leverage on Boomsy and our own branches to maybe set up machines in order to allow them to, at the time that they've came to us and take out the current, they could potentially just take out the cash at that instant upon approval in terms of their credit ratings.
So thank you for your presentation, and I like two things. You put everything or every solution or recommendation based on the origination is from the customer point of view, right? Like who was the first one, J1, right? And then another lady, and then try to understand it first. Project your thought to us. So this is good. But then let me ask you about the jackpot on view. What would you think will be the suitable program period for this? Are you gonna run this like all year long, a quarter? Because those impact communication, budget, and strategy in the future as well.
Thank you. We actually understand concern. As you see, Jackpot will be launched only initially like third quarter from 2016 to third quarter of 2017. So it would be like a year.
A year program.
Yes. So when we initially open new branches.
Okay. So if you plan a year program, how do you keep the people motivating because they are expecting to get something at the end of the program, right? And would that be too long to wait to get a prize a year?
So actually, we plan to do like a weekly shows. So we like free letter every week.
Mm-hmm.
So the 4 times a month.
Okay.
And we do that for like a year. So I think with the consistency, people will like get used to our shows and they will know, they will be familiar with our brand.
Okay.
They will get a better brand and
So
better brand.
you will have a road show, right? Or
We're aiming to launch the program through the television advertisement mainly.
Mhm.
So every week, I will select
so which channel would you like to go?
which channel.
You said TV, right?
I mean, mainly the 3 channel and the 7 channel because these are the top 2 channels in Thailand and
That you think is reach your target.
the contents of the channel itself suits our customer well.
Okay. So, alright. So next question is about your culture, right? The program name is quite attractive, yeah? But you may have to check with your compliance, right? It's correlated to some gambling and but catchy, honestly catchy, right? So you said before when you answer question from Google that you will hire the local sales force, right? And also not to just only sales, but to educate them on how to use the money after you got the money from this cash card, right? What do you think about the conflict of interest? Because you are selling you are sending the sales people, but then you want them to educate. But normally sales people only want to get to the target, the money target. They don't want to do the customer because if you educate them too well, the customer, maybe they are afraid to apply for the card. So what are your thoughts? I'm not trying to kill you here.
Okay, so basically we would like to, of course, educate them
Uh-huh.
because our main purpose of educating them is to take them away from the loan shark and the pawn shop because these two are considered as our main competitors at this point. And since we cannot go and compete with them directly, then we would have to change our mind and thoughts of our customer. But it's correct that you say that too much is not good for them, so not too much.
Okay. So if I give you two choice, so stay with your proposition, like okay, send it a sale, do both things, selling and educating at the same time. And then the second choice is you have a separate CSR program, like do the roadshow across the country and explain like spend wisely concept or something like that. So which one you would prefer to?
I think it comes back to the question that our definition of educate is not really educate them about, okay, you should not be in debt. Our definition of educate is mainly to try and pull them to us. Why is it that our services are better than Seasawat Power? Why is it that our services are better than Veritas? Why is it that our card could be better than KTC, Aeon, etc.?
Okay.
So it's mainly about educating them about the core values of our product, while at the same time, I think that goes hand in hand with our sales force.
Very good answer.
Yeah, good answer.
Very good.
And then last question. So for Joe, who do you think is your competitor? The top one, just one name.
So the card program is basically going to differentiate us from our current competitors such as Seasawat Power and Multi Leasing. But when we launch a new product, a card product, we're going to get pulled into a new market, which our new competitors would be people such as KTC, UA Plus, and Aeon. But since when we pay back the debt at the branch, so when we expand the number of branches throughout Thailand, it also expand the access point, which increase the convenience for our customers, which is one of our core values, and we're going to compete them with our core values.
And to add more onto that, we would initially leverage on our existing pool of customers which they borrow us by using the vehicle title loan, which we have a lot of customers in this area. So we have leverage on this large group of customers first.
I apologize for the time for the Q&A session. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.